All right, now the National Liquor Traders Association is urging government to meet with liquor merchants to discuss what's required to sustain small black-owned companies. It wants to safeguard the nearly 200,000 jobs that are reliant on the tavern industry. To discuss this further, I am joined by a convener of the Liquor Traders of South Africa, Lucky Ntimane. He joins us now in studio. So your overall thoughts about the budget speech?
Thank you once again for the opportunity to be in studio. We wholly welcome the speech by the Minister of Finance. We feel that it is a progressive announcement, especially on the excise duty being 4.9%, which is in line with inflation. But also what we'd like to thank the Minister for is his availability. We've always managed to get hold of him when we wanted to bounce some ideas off with him, and he's always given us support. So we feel that he's a very minister that's dependable, but he also wants what's best, especially for us as liquor traders. So if we look at 2022, the budget speech that he announced, the increases on excise duty were also in line with inflation. So this is the second year running in which the inflation-related increases have been meted out by the Minister of Finance. So we feel that wholly he supports the alcohol industry, and we want to work with him and government as well to ensure that we address certain issues that underpin what tavern sector is all about.
All right, so of course there were also sin taxes and the fact that, things such as alcohol beverages would be a bit more expensive. In terms of the affordability of your customers, where do you think this puts business, especially in the township?
So let us take it back. So we have fought very hard for the word sin tax not to be used, and the minister acceded to that in 2022 because it's actually excise duty. And the reason why we actually complain about the use of sin tax is that liquor traders are not able to access government funding because we are classified as a sin industry. So hence, in our call now, we are saying that we need to do away with us being classified as a sin industry so that our liquor traders can access funding from government agencies. Be that as it may, we see a brighter future for liquor traders, more especially in the fight against the illicit trade of alcohol, because the increase that the minister announced in line with inflation means that it is difficult now for the illicit guys to want to take advantage of the high prices that might have ensued in an event that the increase of excise might have been a bit higher.
And that's what I was going to ask you. You're saying that you welcome the excise duty increase.
Yes, so the increase, if you look at it, is actually in line with inflation. So liquor manufacturers are able to build into their cost base the inflation-related increases. So, for example, because it's 4.9%, it means that the liquor manufacturers will have anticipated that number as a base. So if we had maybe, for example, received an increase of about 7%, it would have been hard for the industry to absorb that because it would have been outside their projected figure. So an increase that is always in line with inflation is something that the alcohol industry will always welcome.
All right, let me ask you a question around our breaking news story now. We'll be more closely monitored by the FATF after government wasn't able to, adhere to about 20 of the 40 recommendations that were made by this forum about a year or two ago, or just a bit over a year. So that means that we are grey-listed. And when you imagine a grey list and you see that in a grey list are countries such as South Sudan, these are war-torn countries. And as a person who is about small business in South Africa, I know that a lot of economists say that small business will not feel the ramifications immediately. But, what's your reaction to the fact that South Africa has now been grey-listed?
It is very unfortunate that we found ourselves where we are now as a country, more especially the financial prudence of the country and also the credibility of the South African economy viewed globally. Of course, it will affect the township economy because we are the downfeeder. We are the end of the food chain, as it were, in the economy. So if, the guys on top are sneezing, we are going to catch the flu at the bottom. I mean, we rely on the manufacturers for the supply of product that we sell in our establishments. So if that has an effect on big companies that we have, and these are multinationals, obviously it's going to affect us. So we are worried that I think as a country, we are actually taking a highway, through wrong things. This could have been avoided. I mean, this issue has been flagged, for a very long time. To fail 20 out of 24, really points to something that needs to drastically be done. And I've always called on government to ensure that, they protect, especially the livelihood of those that reside in a township space. So as taverns, for example, we employ over 200,000 jobs, and those jobs needs to be sustained. But in an economy that is uncertain, it means then that direct foreign investment is not going to flow. We're obviously going to be affected. So we cannot look at this and say, no, it's big economy, it has nothing to do with us. Of course, it has everything to do with us because majority of black people are the ones that contribute to the economy of South Africa.
Well, thank you very much for speaking to us, Lucky Ntimane. He's the convener of the Liquor Traders of South Africa.